Literally hundreds, perhaps even thousands of stories reported in the popular media suggest there are real-life encounters with angels. In almost every case, an angel or angels took charge of some situation and rescued people from life-threatening circumstances. But what does anyone really know about angels? The Bible is replete with stories of angels, but do they really exist? Is it possible that angels were there following the terrorist attack on the Twin Towers in New York City? According to the Bible, angels visited with Abraham, Lot, Jacob, and many others. But do angels bother with ordinary people today? Angels attended the birth of Jesus and warned Joseph there would be attempts on Jesus' life. Is there a guardian angel watching over you? It would be hard to avoid stories about angels even if one wanted to, but there is always the nagging question, are angels real, or are they just part of a long-standing spiritual tradition? The puzzle of angels. Do they actually exist? We'll see if we can solve that puzzle in this episode of Ancient Secrets of the Bible. We are about to look through the pages of the first continuous recorded history of mankind in the book we call the Holy Bible, as we continue our investigation into some of its most controversial stories and try to answer some very tough questions. Is the Bible a reliable account of miraculous interventions, of angels, apostles, and the power of prayer? Or is it just a collection of stories and myth, as some modern-day critics suggest? Both Bible skeptics and proponents from around the world have contributed to this exciting discussion. Some of these biblical revelations may shock and surprise you. Few things in this world have captured the imagination of so many as stories of the intervention of angels, spiritual beings that take many forms and intercede on behalf of mankind. But is there any proof these stories are not just the product of someone's fertile imagination, or just good old-fashioned coincidence? Can we find evidence that there are spiritual beings that come into the lives of ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances? Are there, as Henry Ward Beecher wrote, airy hosts, blessed spectators, sympathetic lookers-on, that see and know and appreciate our thoughts and feelings and acts? If angels do exist, is the average person ever likely to see one? More important, perhaps, would we recognize an angel if we did see one? Of the many stories of heroes and heroism coming out of the September 11th attack on America, one in particular illustrates the point. A woman, blinded by the darkness and choking dust, tells of suddenly feeling the secure hand of someone guiding her down the clogged stairwell and ultimately to safety. When she turned to thank the person who had helped her, there was no one there, no one even nearby. Someone, it seems, had guided her to safety. But who? These kinds of stories are almost commonplace, and people are quick to attribute them to angels. But what evidence is there that these heavenly helpers actually exist?
That's really the question, isn't it? I mean, I think it's wonderful when something happens that saves a life or protects someone from harm. But to automatically attribute it to an angel or angels, that's like putting the cart before the horse. Let's find some evidence that there are really angels before we start giving them all the credit.
That sounds fair enough. But if experience with angels and angelic events doesn't constitute evidence, what does? Do we know what kind of beings angels are? And what is it that makes us believe in angels in the first place?
Well, the belief in angels in the Bible is so markedly and strikingly positive that if you read Scripture, you can't help but believe in angels. Jesus, in a conversation to Nathanael, said, "The Son of Man is served by angels." He's described angels rising to heaven and descending upon the Son of Man. And he said, "Angels serve me, Nathanael." Well, if Jesus said that, I believe it.
Basically, there are only two sources of information regarding angels: the numerous biblical accounts and the anecdotal evidence, personal stories or first-person accounts. Do either of these sources tell us what angels are really like?
A biblical angel is conceptually a messenger of God, familiar with him face to face, therefore of an order of being different from that of man. In the Old Testament, the angel of God is the direct agent of his will, but remains nameless and almost without revealed personality. They do, however, appear to assume many forms, in particular, the human form. The angels that dined with Abraham and met Lot at the city gate of Sodom all seem to have been in the form of men.
Sending angels to help build and protect a nation or save a righteous family in Old Testament times is perhaps a matter of faith. But is there anything to suggest that angels in earthly form might rescue someone today? Let's examine some of the anecdotal evidence. Eunice Barrow claims she has felt the compelling life-saving presence of an angel, and she's certain she saw one in a most unlikely place.
I was 15 or 16 years old at the time. We had just moved to Compton, California, and my mother and I got on the commuter train to go to Long Beach. We hadn't been on the train very long when I just really had an overpowering feeling. I just had the sudden feeling that I had to get off the train.
What's the matter?
Why are you like this?
I just need to get off the train.
I don't know. I know we have to get off the train.
Aren't you feeling good? It's good.
I have to get off this train.
Are you sure, honey?
There seemed to be nothing Eunice's mother could say that would persuade her daughter to stay on the train, even though they were far from a scheduled stop. But oddly enough, by the time Eunice had reached the platform, the train had come to a full stop. Desperately, she looked about, and finally she spotted an old service station that looked like it might be open for business. Immediately, she made her way toward it.
Excuse me.
Well now, you'd be looking for a hospital. Keep going down this street, about 2 blocks. It's on the right, you can't miss it. You better hurry now.
A hospital?
Eunice, what is it? What in the world are you doing?
I don't know. This man just told me I